Welcome back. It is Friday, November 17th in the NBA. My 5 favorite picks are on the way. Let's go 5-0 entering the weekend. But before we do that, let's recap yesterday. A 1-1 day, losing a little bit of juice. Chet Holmgren, our favorite player prop of the day, did cash his over 9.5 rebounds plus assists. I said he had a great chance at getting a double-double, and he did just that. If you took that, great. You got some good plus value there. Now, we did lose our same-game parlay with Klay Thompson, CP3, and Andrew Wiggins. I'm going to put the same-game parlays on a back burner today. Let's try to dominate in the 5 player props, and let's absolutely cook the books today going into the weekend. We'll have some other videos posted later today, like a college football video for Saturday. We should have an NFL video posted later today. Stay tuned for that. I'm going to post some picks. But without further ado, let's dive into the picks. We're going to have a parlay play entry at the end of the video, trying to turn $20 into $200. And if it cashes, we're giving away $100 to a random person that's subscribed to the channel. So go hit that subscribe button, and $100 to someone that is paying, whether that's a COS All-Star or a DubClub member. We appreciate all those people out there. It's going to include a lot of my picks today. And also the best part about parlay play, you get a 100% deposit match if you sign up using our code COS, and they have a really cool feature only to their book, is that they allow you to reduce a line once a day. So let's say you like Nikola Jokic's over in rebounds, they let you reduce it from, let's say, 12.5 down to 12. You do the same thing for rebounds and assists and points line. So really cool. We'll show how that feature is used later on in this video. Parlay play, we love them. If you want to sign up, make sure you use code COS. Very similar to the guys like PrizePicks, Underdog Fantasy, Sleepers. Very similar options there. You parlay some things together, and boom, you can get a great payout. Parlay play, we love them. Code COS, 100% deposit match. Let's dive into the picks, though. The first one's going to be our 1.5 unit play. What I will call our best bet of the day is going to Mr. Devin Booker, the guy on the thumbnail, over 10.5 rebounds plus assists, minus 130 on Bet365. Now, honestly, I don't love giving out minus 130 picks, and especially rebounds plus assist props, because we have I'm blessed to have a large following on DubClub and all the people that pay for the picks early, which you certainly can do. All those details are down below. But because we move lines, and I would bet you probably by the time I post this video, this line is likely not 10.5. And if it is, it's 10.5 very juiced. So if it does go up to 11.5, I do like that for a 1 unit play. I think the 10.5 line is a little bit soft. And that's why I don't normally give out a lot of minus 130s, because I know we're going to move lines, and I want to make money with you guys. That's the primary focus. But I also want you guys to be able to tail the picks, and I don't want you tailing a minus 160 pick. But let's talk about why I like Devin Booker for 1.5 units, and why, if you want to take it at 11.5, it has my sign of approval for 1 unit as well. But let's talk about in 3 games this season. Booker averaged 6.3 rebounds per game and 8.7 assists per game. This is good, 15 rebounds plus assists. Now he's had 14, 22, not only 9 rebounds plus assists in their last game. Obviously did return back from injury, was on a minutes limit, did only play 26 minutes last game. I anticipate his minutes limit is probably 30 to 32-ish minutes, and I think that's enough for him to get, over this line. And he had, I think, 7 at the half. Just didn't get anything going in the third quarter, and barely played in the fourth quarter too. But we look at Devin Booker. This is a guy we know is going to have the ball in his hands a ton. And while I don't hate his PRA line tonight, I'd rather just ask him to pass it a little bit more to his teammates and grab some rebounds, because this season he's averaging 13.3 rebound chances per game and 13 assist chances per game. That's 26.3 combined. With Walker Kessler out for the Utah Jazz, they're putting Lauri Markkanen at the 5. So that's going to take Jusuf Nurkic out of the paint. Heck, I don't even know how many minutes Jusuf Nurkic plays tonight. So I think that we're going to see Booker have some long rebounds and probably be able to get those rebounds, push the pace up to his guys cutting in transition. And Booker has a great track record hitting this prop against the Utah Jazz. Let's keep in mind, this was a lot of games with CP3 as their primary ball handler. That's Booker these days. And in Booker's last 6 games versus Utah, 12, 18, 18, 7, 14, and 16 rebounds plus assists, going over this line in 5 of 6 games. Now, that's a great track record alone. He did great in the rebounding department against it in this matchup, but he's also done really good in the assist department, and that was with CP3 on the team. He's also done well scoring, so I don't mind his PRA line too, if you want to go with that. Maybe that's what you were into. But I really do think Devin Booker, this would be a 2-unit play if he was not on a minutes limit. But I still do think he plays enough minutes to hit this line. He has the ball in his hands literally every possession. He's kind of trying to find ways to get Durant the ball too, as well as his other role players. So I really like this. Great matchup for Devin Booker. Should play 30-ish minutes. This game should be close on the road in Utah. Give me Devin Booker over 10.5 rebounds plus assists for 1.5 units. Like I said, if it goes up to 11.5, you'll probably get better value, but I like that for 1 unit play. Now let's keep it moving to the guy that is on my shirt, one of the guys that I went to see his first 2 ever NBA games, and I vlogged those on the second channel. There's also a second channel new video live yesterday for a Cowboys game. It's this guy, the Victor Wembanyama. We're taking his over 18.5 points, minus 115 on FanDuel. And if you wanted to go for like the same game parlay, I also like his rebounds line too, but it was 9.5. They've kind of caught up to how many rebounds he's getting the past couple games, and I'd rather not trust him to grab 10 boards just because 10 rebounds can sometimes be tough, especially for Victor, a guy that's trying to block some shots down there. But I think this game's going to be competitive. They're back at home, and that's really the only place you'll see me back Victor, is when he's at home. I just don't love trusting rookies on the road, just because it's a rookie playing in a foreign environment, there's going to be different, things that go down. But at home, this is a place where he's played up several times, and a place he probably is a little bit more comfortable. And you look at the Spurs, who will play host to the Kings. Devin Vassell likely is out for this game. Keldon Johnson expected to play, so I expect him out there. But easy pathway to 15, 20 field goal attempts for Wembanyama tonight. And we've seen, he's kind of coming into his own. He's going to have some bad games. That's a rookie experience. But his last 3 games, 29, 18, and 8 points. Now he's not been afraid to shoot the ball. 21, 22, and 15 field goal attempts. Like, this guy's going to probably attempt close to 20 field goal attempts tonight against the Kings, a team that plays really fast with De'Aaron Fox back. And he's coming off 2 tough matchups against Miami, against OKC, 2 teams that really get up under you and make it tough for you to knock down contested shots. I think he gets a lot more open shots versus the Kings. And I think they feed him in the paint too, where he likely has a big size mismatch against anyone that the Kings put on him. And we've seen so far 11 games into his career, he's played much better at home. That's not a surprise for anyone out there. He's averaged 20.6 points per game on 46% shooting at home, compared to just 17 on the road on 40% shooting. So 6% better at home, averaging over 3 points more at home. I really like this matchup for him. I think he can run in transition and beat not only Sabonis into the paint, but also they probably guard him with Keegan Murray, who's like 6'8", 6'9". I think they feed it down low to him in the paint, and he's able to get some easy lands. I'm not afraid of Domantas Sabonis as a rim protector. I really like Wembanyama. He hasn't had any free throw attempts the last 2 games. I imagine they try to get into the free throw line a little bit more tonight. We've seen 16 players with 15 or more shots versus the Kings. 14 of those guys hit this over. 13 of them scored at least 20 points in case the line goes to 19.5. So I really like this one. This is a guy that played, I think, 26, 28 minutes, even in a game they got blown out in. I think this game's close. The Spurs have played competitive at home this season. I think they're close. I don't think the Kings smoke them. So I really do like Victor Wembanyama. I think he's really talented. Obviously, if you watched him, you know how talented this guy is. I think he starts knocking down some more shots tonight. Give me his over 18.5 points. Now, my third play is going to be a guy that we've backed in the ladder challenge before, and there's reasonably so because Jamal Murray's out. His name's Aaron Gordon. I like his over 21.5 points plus rebounds, minus 120 on FanDuel. Now, I was looking at his PRA line. I don't hate the PRAs, but the PRA line's about 26.5, and I just don't really want to count on Aaron Gordon to get me 6 assists. Look, he could. He certainly could get you 6 assists, but I'd rather his points plus rebounds, 2 things that I know he's really good at. And honestly, I think the line should be about 23, 24.5. So if it's still 22.5, I would take that. But we talked about Aaron Gordon this season averaging 21.3 points plus rebounds. And the numbers go up with Jamal Murray out, who's still out. And 4 games without Murray, you've seen him have 27, 25, 24, and 25 points plus rebounds. He's played 39 minutes in 2 straight. He's also hit this over. One of those games was against the New Orleans Pelicans when he had 27 points plus rebounds against them. And this line just feels soft. I mean, sure, Jokic is going to do his thing. He's going to go off. He does whatever. But Aaron Gordon's going to get a lot of mismatches down low, especially if they guard him with Zion Williamson, which is likely. And Zion, look, I love him. Doesn't play a whole lot of defense. I feel like sometimes on defense, he just is like looking around, and then you just see a guy make a back cut, and that's what Aaron Gordon and Jokic have that great, chemistry together. And we've seen Aaron Gordon's last 2 versus Zion, 27 and 27 points plus rebounds on only 10 and 11 field goal attempts. It wouldn't surprise me if he had more than that tonight. They're going to try their best to slow down Jokic, but at the end of the day, this is a guy that's going to play a lot of minutes in what I anticipate to be a close game in New Orleans. So I really like this line. Zion, he's going to probably guard him, but they're going to double team Zion if he ever drives. So I'm not really concerned about Aaron Gordon getting into foul trouble. Always a concern, but I still do think he's going to be down there grabbing some boards, but mostly probably scoring 15, 20 points. And I think he could hit this over, get close to hitting the over in just points alone. I really like Aaron Gordon tonight. Is over 21.5 points plus rebounds. And we'll kind of stay on the same track record in the same game, same team. I'm going to Nikola Jokic, taking his over 12.5 rebounds, minus 111 on FanDuel. Now, I'm not one to normally double dip on the same props in terms of, hey, I'm going to be kind of rooting for Aaron Gordon and Jokic to grab rebounds tonight, but there's enough rebounds to go around, and you'll understand why in a second. But I think every rebound, if we're being honest, there's 3 main rebounders on this team for the Nuggets. It's Nikola Jokic, it's Aaron Gordon, it's Michael Porter Jr. Outside of those, KCP and Reggie Jackson don't really grab a ton of rebounds. So it's those 3 guys, and this is a great matchup for rebounding, which is why I like Jokic today. I'm so surprised this line is still 12.5 because Jokic, you look at him, 16, 14, 13, 21, and 16 rebounds in his last 5 games, averaging over 23 rebound chances per game. That included a game versus New Orleans. He had 14 rebounds, and they shot 50% from the field in that game. If they go down to 44%, which is kind of league average, he's going to grab even more rebounds. And this has just been a matchup he has dominated against Jonas Valanciunas, a guy that, honestly, Jonas doesn't play a ton of minutes, probably plays more tonight just because they need him out there for the size, because they don't have Larry Nance Jr. But you look at the last 10 games versus Jonas, he's averaged 13.7 rebounds per game. He's at 11 plus in all those games, so a very high floor, 13 plus in 6 of those 10. So he's getting real close to hitting the line, if not going over in the majority of these games. And like I said, this matchup is prime for rebounding. I wouldn't take, a two technically rebound props where we need Aaron Gordon to grab some boards. We also need Jokic to grab some boards. But this season, Pelicans allowing the 4th most rebounds per game at 56.5 per game, and the 4th most offensive rebounds per game at 13. So, look, if Jokic wants to miss and let Aaron Gordon scoop a putback dunk, sure, I'm cool with that. If they want to do the other way, I don't really care how they get it done. I think there's a lot of offensive rebounds, especially if Jonas gets into foul trouble. Then they don't have a lot of size down low. And also, I just think this is a great matchup for rebounding against New Orleans Pelicans. You also think about Jokic. He's not guarding Zion. He's not guarding Brandon Ingram. Those are the two guys shooting a ton. So I think he'll be down low, trying to grab some boards, push the pace. This is what Jokic does. We know he plays a ton of minutes. I don't like the double dip on props for the same game, but I think this is a close one, and I think both these two guys grab rebounds. And if Jokic wants to grab a ton of rebounds, just launch it to Aaron Gordon for 20 plus points. I'll live with that if that's how they want to get it done. But I really think that's a winner. Now, my 5th and final play of the day, a little tricky one, but it's pretty easy for a pivot if you're on a daily fantasy app, because we're going to Trae Young, asking him to record a double-double, which is currently plus 104 on Caesars. Now, the easy pivot, and I put this in the slide, is over 9.5 assists. If your book, like you're on, and maybe you're on PrizePicks or Underdog Fantasy, you're like, Austin, they don't have a double-double prop for Trae Young, just take his over an assist. I mean, it's 9.5 on almost every book. The reason I took the double-double is because, well, honestly, Trae Young's going to score 10 points. If he doesn't, you probably won't see me tomorrow, but also this is the guy that we know is capable of going out there and getting the assist. I just think the 10 plus points is probably pretty easy for him to do, even if he shoots like 2 for 15 from the field. And then we're just asking for 10 assists, whereas it's a little bit better value taking the double-double than it is taking the assist line. Obviously, they kind of go hand in hand. We need him to play well, but we've seen Trae Young so far this season, 10 plus points. He's done that in all 10 games. So he's getting one leg of the double-double down. Now, if he hits 10 rebounds, I don't know what we're going to do, but he's at 10 plus assists, getting the double-double. Really, we're counting on 9.5 assists. Let's be honest. He's done that in 7 of 10 games so far this season, 8 plus assists in all 10, and he has a double-double in 4 or 5 games at home. So we obviously know at home, you're probably more likely to pass it to your guys, and they're probably more likely to knock down their shots, just like we talked about Wembanyama. Guys just notoriously shoot better at home, and I think they're going to shoot better for at home, and it's not like Trae Young for him to dominate as much when he's at home than he is on the road, where he's trying to score a lot more points, because probably he has to. But we've seen this is a great matchup against the Sixers. Now, I don't know necessarily who plays for the Sixers, but imagine Maxi's out there, and imagine Joel Embiid's out there too. And we've seen Trae dominate in this matchup. 5 of his last 6 games versus Philadelphia, 10 assists in all of them. And then we see 27 points and 20 assists in his last matchup versus the Sixers. This is the Sixers defense that has honestly kind of struggled, and they're struggling in transition. We just saw what Halliburton did against them, 17 and 15 assists. And Halliburton's kind of in a league of his own in terms of assists, but Trae Young's right in that next tier. This is a guy that we know can go out there and get 20 assists. He already did that once against the Sixers. So look, if he somehow gets 10 points and then somehow completes the double-double, not with assists and like 10 rebounds, I'll record tomorrow's video shirtless, because that's very unlikely to happen. But if he somehow gets 10 rebounds, I bet you he's chasing a triple-double too. So, I really like Trae Young double-double. If you have to take his over 9.5 assists, I'm fine with it there. I just think the double-double at plus 104 on Caesars was much better value than the over 9.5 assists, which is what about minus 120, minus 125. Trae Young, we need 10 points. If you don't score 10, I'm going to kill you. And we need 10 assists to get that double-double for plus 104. Now, let's dive into a parlay play entry, and then I will get on out of here. I know it's been a long video. I appreciate you spending some time with me on Friday. Here's my parlay play entry. It's going to involve almost every single leg we already talked about today, trying to turn $20 into $200. A reminder, if you haven't signed up for parlay play, make sure you use our code COS. You get a 100% deposit match up to $100. It's free money. Take advantage of it. I love parlay play. We use them almost every single weekend in the NFL. Make sure you sign up with that top link in the description. If this hits, I'm giving away $200. I'm giving away all the winnings, but you talk about all the legs. I've already talked about Jokic. I talked about Devin Booker, the one that I reduced from 11 down to 10.5. That's something you can do once per day. I talked about Trae Young as over in assists, and I talked about Victor Wembanyama. The only one I made a slight tweak on was Aaron Gordon, more than 14.5 points. I think if he's going to get 21.5 PRA, he probably gets pretty close to 15 points. So they also didn't have the points plus rebounds. They only had a PRA line, and I'd much rather the points than a PRA. So at the end of the day, I think that's Mac, and I think we're going 5-0 today. And if we do, we're giving away some money. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so you potentially could win $100 tomorrow if we go 5-0. Of course, if you want to go check out our other videos, we'll have a college football video live later on today, probably an NFL video later on this afternoon, probably evening time. But of course, if you want to go check out the second channel videos, they're already live. My name's Austin. Let's have a dominant day. I will see you guys back again tomorrow with some more picks. Let's have a day. I'll see you then. Peace.